All right, boys, I've got a real treat for you today. Really excited to do this video and talk about the latest defensive ebook as well as the trips tight end offense, how to deal with a 3-3-5 loop. I thought this was just one of a really good teaching tape, really good game to break down. I matched up with John Beast for the second day in a row. Actually, yesterday, I kind of honestly was just like labbing a little bit and matched up with John Beast, and I ended up losing because of a running play at the very last. I played pretty good. I shut him out the whole first half, and I was running the 1-4-6 defense we just released. And then can't remember exactly what happened, but I'm pretty sure that it came down to like I needed to punt, and I think we were tied, and I was trying to get to go to overtime. It was like 17 seconds left, so he had the ball at like the 10-yard line, and he ran like an inside zone out a bunch and just popped the run. So that's how that's how I lost, and really that was like on me. I didn't have my run defense set up. I think I accidentally pass committed, which you don't want to do this year if there's a run threat, because what happens is, I mean, you can pass commit in certain situations, but if you do pass commit and they run the ball, EA has kind of like made it so that your players run slow, and that's basically what happened to me. So anyways, learned from that mistake, ended up matching up with him. This is literally my first game. You see, I just loaded in. I was going to play a game of Madden before my wife took off for work, and wanted to break this down. Now, before I do get into the game, I do want to address something really quickly about just credibility and stuff like that. I have been playing Madden for a really long time. I've been playing Madden like at a high level, I would say, for 10 years. I took like a 2-year break. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually a pastor. I'm a bivocational pastor. I do YouTube part-time, and I do ministry as well. My wife and I are planning a church in Twin Falls, Idaho. And we're also looking at planning an additional church in Jerome, Idaho, potentially within the next year or so. And so because of my job and because of her job and all of that, it's really difficult for me to compete in the MCS because almost all the ladders and all of the competitive qualifying events are on Sunday. And so, for example, like I could play in the ladders. This happened to me last year. I could play in the ladders, get top 25 in the ladders, and then not be able to compete on Sunday because we have church. We're also in a little bit of a disadvantage because of our time zone change. They always start at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, and our church service is at 10. So that's just kind of like a little bit of my background, and just wanted to explain, like, that's why it's really hard for me to compete in the MCS. I really want to, and I'm just still trying to kind of work through that. So just bear with me with that, and we will hopefully get in there. But I have played a lot of really good players, and I know most of the good players in the community, and so anyway, this is matching up against one of the best. I think John Beast, I'm pretty sure, was like the number one on the PlayStation 4 ladders, if I remember correctly. So anyways, just kind of a little bit of background, but this is John Beast. This is his PlayStation gamer tag, and wanted to just break down some film. Now, I'm not pretending by any means that John Beast was like super locked in. It was an MCS game. Obviously, this was just a head-to-head. You'll notice that like neither one of us are really running the ball. I don't even think I ran the ball one time this game. We're not really running the ball. We're kind of just labbing our stuff. But I just thought this was a good film of what the 1-4-6 defense can do and how to adjust against a pro Madden player. Ended up holding John Beast to 7 points. You'll see the 7 that he gets is actually, I think, going to be on his first drive here. And we'll break down kind of why that happened and an adjustment that we can do to stop that. So I'm running 1-4-6 on defense. I am running trips on offense. So I felt like this showed off 2 of our recent ebooks. Wanted to do this for you guys. If you guys like these film rooms, please let me know in the comments of this post, and I will do more film rooms like this. Sometimes I don't know if this is super helpful or not. For me, this would be super helpful. So that's why I wanted to create this content for you guys. And again, I honestly, like, I haven't had a lot of hard games this year. The games that I've lost have primarily been my fault. Like throwing, like just kind of like playing around, not taking it seriously, and then you lose. Anyways, the point is, playing someone like John Beast, you're going to get a good game. They're going to be adjusting and doing some things, and you don't get that a lot in just head-to-head games. So that's why I wanted to do this film room for us. It's by no means, I'm not trying to like show off or anything by that. I just thought this was a really good example of attacking the 3-3 meta defense, because that's what he's going to be running on defense, and also bunch. And John Beast, in my opinion, has the best bunch right now, just because of his ability to he has a really good, he's really good with passing, and his pocket, you'll notice in this game, is really good. So anyways, that's it. So starting out, I kind of know because I played him the other day, I kind of know what he wants to do. So here's kind of some of my adjustments. You'll see here that I'm going to hard flat on the right side because he loves to throw the tight end flat against this defense. He loves to throw the tight end flat, so we're going to hard flat over there. He also likes to throw this corner route to Keyshawn, so we're going to kind of bracket that with a deep half and a man up on him. And then basically on the left side, he doesn't send his running back out very much, but the hard flat is primarily there to serve as any kind of drag backside. And then I've got that guy manned up. This is a really good adjustment, really, really good adjustment for bunch, in my opinion, and you'll see how this plays. So first play of the game here, I can't remember exactly the result. Oh, you see here. So as you see here, the tight end's going vertical quick. I know I've got to get up there. The pressure screams, as it always does. You see it on the right side. If I'm looking at a picture of this is a pretty confusing coverage. He does have the C route on the left side, but the pressure gets there in time, and we're able to kind of get out of there without any damage. But he did have that C route on the left, and C routes are one of the better man beaters in the game. It's why he's running that man beater on the left side, because he knows, okay, this is probably a man blitz, so I'm going to run some man beaters on the right and on the left. So you're going to get a look at that. This is also why I really want to. You're going to see in this game we go to cover 6 a lot. Out of a no huddle. He's going to run no huddle most of the game, and that's where I love to kind of change the look behind it. So I come out in the same look every time, right? So I'm in DB Sting or DB Sting 2 Buzz, but what I can do is quickly audible at the line of scrimmage to my cover 6, quickly press it. They know I checked, but they don't know what I checked to. So anyways, just kind of keep that in mind as we watch through these films. I felt like I just played really good on defense. So now I gave him a little bit of a zone look. Now I want to give him a man look, see how he handles that. We're going to hard flat the right side in case he tries to throw the tight end flat, and we're going to just basically play man across the board and kind of see what he's got. I was kind of honestly not wanting to play a lot of man this game because his corner route is really good. Yesterday when we played, he hit me at least 2 times, I think, with a great corner route from Keyshawn. So I was kind of like hesitant to play a lot of man. Here he's going to max protect, and then as you can see here, he's going to that corner route. So I, as a user defender, is going to run. I'm going to basically just sprint to the corner route. I was like not giving up the corner route this game. I was okay if he hit me underneath, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to test him with the corner route because I felt like that was the only thing that he really had yesterday when we played. So I was going to take the corner route. So I take the corner route here, and I think, let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure he just throws this away. You see here the man coverage plays really good. We get a nice shed. Again, one of the things about 146 that I think is better than dollar, I think the sheds are significantly better than dollar, and I also think that the disengages are incredible out of 146. I've got the edge threats on the outside like I recommended because in 146 the edge threats will actually activate, and you will see that throughout this game. So you see there, boom, and he's out. Okay, so he's a throwaway. Now we're in 3rd and 12. Now I am, you'll see here, I think I'm going to set the audible here. There it is right there. So I'm going to throw cover 6 in here. I think I actually don't get my adjustments set, but I wanted to call cover 6. Let's see here. Yep, so I came out in DB Sting 2 like I always talk about, or DB Sting Buzz, either one of those two. So we get this look right here pre-snap. But then I audibled to cover 6, and I turned my match coverage on because I was anticipating him throwing the corner route to the right side, which is basically what, like I said, I think that's the only thing that could really hurt me in this game was a right side corner route. And so I wanted to, at like specific times, I wanted to give him some match just to show him that he can't just have the corner route every time, okay? So you're going to see here, I'm going to go to that play call. So I'm in match here, and then I actually made a really good adjustment by manning up the tight end on the right side. We're going to come back to that later on in this drive. And then what you see over here is I really love how the coverage plays on the left. He's actually going to send 5 out, And I think he was anticipating that. That's a little bit of a tell for me, so I've got to think about that going forward with the defense. If you're playing a really good player, one of the things I tried to do later on in the game, but I just couldn't get everything set, was I tried to blitz out of match coverage, which would have been helpful. If I had blitzed a little bit more out of match coverage, which you can easily do out of this specific match coverage because it's cover 6, so you could send both corners and then just put the middle linebacker on the bunch side into a flat. If I had done that more, I think it would have been a little bit better of a defensive performance because he would have been sending. When he sees me audible, I think he was sending 5 out, or at least normally was. So that's just something to kind of think about going forward. Anyways, here's the play call. I kind of get lost with my user on this one. I felt like this should have been an interception. I was honestly looking at his routes. I was trying to figure out what he was running, which was a mistake. He runs flood, which is actually a great call for match. But you see here, we're playing pretty decent, and then I just have to user this in route, and he totally I got just a little bit messed up with my user, and I don't know. Like, if you're sitting here, and, I mean, he's throwing the ball, obviously, like, I think that's just a terrible read, but my user is so bad that it ends up working out for him, and he picks up the first down. I felt like I should have had that. Those are some of those things where, like, you watch it back and you're like, man, I could have easily had a pick. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to give him the match look here, so we're gonna go back to DB Sting. Now, one of my favorite adjustments out of this DB Sting is on the left side, because if you're playing somebody in bunch, this year specifically, they're not putting their running back on a route hardly ever. So if that's the case, what I love to do with that corner or that safety on the bunch side is put him in a hook curl. That will help significantly with anything on that left side, and then I can kind of focus my energy to the bunch side. So that's what I was trying to do. I think I accidentally put him in the middle third. Here he's going to block. You'll see here, let me see here, the routes. So we've got this is bunch trail. I think this is his favorite play. And I need to get to the tight end here. Let me see. I think he's going to take off here. And this is so we get the sack. So one of the things that John Beast was doing to try to counter the edge loops that we're getting out of DB Sting Buzz, or out of DB Sting, one of the things that he was going to do, and you'll see this throughout the game, it's actually a really, really good thing that he's doing, and it takes a lot of skill to do what he's going to do. He will step up into the pocket so much, and he will basically scramble because they're going to have a double team on my defensive tackle, and that will become kind of honestly the main chess match within this. You see how good the coverage is and how good the pressure is coming hot. So he's going to take a sack here. One of the things that I really respect about John Beast, and I think something that I do want to say about any kind of passer in general, if you're going to be a really good passer in Madden 23, you need to learn how to throw the ball away, and you need to learn how to step up in the pocket and take the sack if there's nothing there. Do not force things if they're not there. That's where you will make the majority of your mistakes. It's where I make the majority of my mistakes. And, you see him take a sack there, which I thought was really, it's like a sack, but it's a great play. So right here, I think I'd go to match. Yep, so I'm anticipating a corner route. And I wanted to just kind of see if I'm telling you, like, I was the one thing I wasn't doing this game was I wasn't pinching my line as much as I normally do. When you pinch your line, it gives those guys a little bit of a advantage on the pass rush, and that's one of the mistakes that I made. I was honestly so locked in. I was like trying to think about all the adjustments I needed to make, and I wasn't pinching my line, wasn't doing the basic thing that I should have done, which was a mistake on my part. But anyway, 2nd and 14, I'm going to give him match coverage here, just trying to see how he handles it, and we're going to man up that tight end. You'll notice like there's one critical moment on this drive where I forget to man up the tight end, and it ends up costing me dearly. The reason you man up the tight end whenever you're defending out of bunch, the reason that you want to do that primarily is because of the route combos that he specifically was calling. The tight end man up is really more of a situational thing. You don't have to do it generally, but the reason that I was doing it in this game is because he was doing a lot of verticals. He was going to run a lot of like tight bench pivot, I believe, too. So he was kind of doing some stuff with his tight end up the seam. That's the primary reason I was doing that. But anyway, so here, a little slant crosser, play pretty decent, almost get a sack, and we got him in 3rd and long. So, and I'm telling you, the defense was incredible this game. Like, one of my best defensive games probably in a while. I just felt like I played. There you see, there's the pinch line. So I'm probably blitzing here, but if you watch, you'll see that these guys shed better when they're pinched. So right here, I kind of honestly, this is terrible defense by me. I get messed up, and you're going to see it really bite me. So notice how my safety on the right side of the field, this is the biggest problem against bunch. So in DB Sting, when you come out and you play this safety's manned up, and he's all the way on the other side of the field, which is why we never want him in that. We want to put the linebacker, who I'm actually using, on the tight end. So a major mistake here, and I don't know why I did this. I think I just, for whatever reason, I was really concerned about the quick snap, and he was moving pretty quickly, which is kind of like a lot of pro players. They will snap the ball super quick so that you can adjust. So that was kind of one of the things. But in this year's game, it's really hard to consistently just really be able to quick snap. So I had plenty of time to put this guy on the tight end, and this is going to bite me. You're going to see a major mistake here. So I kind of thought like I could bait him. As I was standing here, I thought, well, maybe I can bait him into going and using the tight end. So you'll see I'm going to run right at it, but I can't get there, and he throws the wheel, and he's going to pick up a first down. And I was pissed at myself for that, because I had him dead in the water, and one of the mistakes that I did make defensively, if there was any major mistake, it was, I think that I honestly had so much respect for John that I kind of lost respect for my own defense in a way. And so I wasn't doing the basic things that I know to do, because I was so trying to protect myself from just different little things that he could have done. And I think that was just a mistake. Like, if I just play my basic defense, man that guy up like I know how to do, that route's not open. And so just a big mistake here. You see, I'm doing it again. And now I check into zone wisely. We're kind of back into that zone look. And here, I just kind of checked into coverage sync because he caught me. I think he went no huddle out of this, and I think what happened, honestly, was I was in the wrong defense. I came out in a wrong play or something, which is another big mistake. But anyway, so I'm in coverage sync. So here, we'll probably get dotted because you see here, we're getting great sheds. See the sheds? See the sheds? That doesn't happen in dollar. That does not happen in dollar. It's why I wrote 146 as the best like dime dollar style defense in the game. It really is, because they shed better, and it's because they're linebackers, quote unquote. And I'm just telling you, that's such a big deal, and you'll see it in this game in little ways. But anyway, if I had better user, but you see how I'm see that right there, see that step up, great. That takes great skill, and he will actually do that against 5 and 6 man pressures too, which I just think is incredible. But anyway, so he scampers up for about 11, and I'm just like begging. I should have called a timeout. So there you see I'm pinching my linebackers. Now I'm in the man play. Now I feel like I'm actually in a spot where I can hang, and here you're going to see I think I get a pretty good spot. Yep, that's perfect defense right there. So that's the man coverage. We just went right back to DB Sting. You see that he's running bunch trail a lot. He's kind of sticking to his main, 1 or 2 plays here, and you should see we're going to play pretty solid. Yep, pretty solid again. And you see, like, I could have sat in this and kind of shifted. Here I'm going to go to cover 6. Now you notice that a lot of third downs, kind of my tendency in this game was to go to match coverage, which is kind of honestly like, I don't know why. I just felt like he was going to go to the corner route in a critical situation. And so in every critical situation, I wanted to be in match coverage. And you'll see here, I go to it, and we play okay. And then right there, he throws right at my user, and we can't get a pick right there. Like, that's got to be an interception. He throws right at 3 people. And now we're in 4th and 11, and I'm like, okay, I've got to stop here. I'm going to get a stop here. I'm like, this is bagged. It's over. I would be shocked if he even goes for it, but he is going to go because we're just playing in a head-to-head game. And I'm going to go to cover 2, and I don't love this call. Like, he's going to dot me to the tight end. Yeah. And that's where I started to notice, okay, so that's where the tight end man up needs to come from, like if I'm going to run something like that. So I was just so anticipating the corner route, and he just really didn't throw it that much this game, to be honest. And the tight end wheel ended up catching me. So here again, we should sack him right here, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So you see how good the pressure is. And he's blocking 6, by the way, every time. And it's coming. We're going to come every time. So now, again, off of a sack, I normally go to match. And you see here, we're going to play great defense. And he's going to try to force feed it. And you see that, again, man, that's like, that should have been, in my opinion, that should have been an interception. He probably wanted a touchdown, but that's one of those 50-50 balls. I mean, I mean, gosh dang, like that's not super there. Honestly, it's really not. There you see, there's the hook curl adjustment on the right side. So why do I put a hook curl right there? Because if they run a crossing route, they run anything, I don't have to care necessarily about the right side of the field. I only really have to focus on the left side of the field. If they run a slant from the tight end, which is very popular at a bunch this year, the hook curl will hang. So I just have to get over and kind of protect the corner route. And I should have been in this defense, honestly, a lot more. You should see a sack here. So you see there, boom, boom. Now he's going to step up. We get the quick wrap. And now, I mean, 4th and 12. And you're going to see this is – I'm so mad at myself for what you're about to see because I just didn't realize that this – it was just – honestly, it's a product of, like, running so much big nickel. One of the challenges with match coverage in the cover 6 defense out of Dime 146 is the vertical hook and the hook curl. They don't always match very well. Okay, they don't always match very well. They're kind of like really drop zones in a lot of ways. The way they practically play out, a lot of ways, they are basically drop coverage. And that's where you'll see this tight end man up really come back to bite me on this play. And I feel like I played such good defense on this drive. He struggled all the way down the field, like a couple minor mistakes, and then I just give this up. Like, this was such a bad... I should have just called the same defense I called last play. I was anticipating a corner. This is a great opportunity. This would have been a great time for me to blitz out a match because I had not been blitzing out a match. And you'll see here, I think I forget to spread my linebackers. I didn't forget to pinch my line, but sometimes one of the DNs, they won't spread out, so you need to spread your linebackers sometimes too to get them to spread out. And then my guy, you see here, like... this is just such bad. I should not have crashed my line out because that ran my defensive end into the tight end. He's going to run bunch trail. You see it's bagged. See here, there's nothing open. And then from a user perspective, I'm like, man, I guarantee you he's going to scramble. So I'm like thinking, okay, he's going to scramble. And I'm like, well, I've got all these zones here. Surely they're going to go with the tight end. I don't know why I thought that. He playmakers him up. I'm going to the quarterback because, again, he'd been scrambling a lot, and, this was so stupid of me. It was like, it's one of those things where, like, you look at it, it's a little thing in the big picture of the whole game, but it's like a major mistake by me. I could have stopped this. Like, had I manned up the tight end, it wouldn't have been open. Had I usered it, it wouldn't have been open. And so I'm just pissed at myself for this. And I'm thinking, like, surely they're going to shed. I was also thinking that too, but because I crashed my line out, I didn't get a great shed animation on the left side because he ran into the tight end, and he dots me over the top. So really frustrated with that mistake on my end. And honestly, after the first drive, like, that's just such a deflating way to get scored on. Like, I felt like I played great defense the entire drive. I made maybe 2 or 3 mistakes. He had to go 15 plays. He took the whole quarter. Like, he was struggling all the way up the field, and I just couldn't get the final stop. So that's just one of those situations. And the reason why he was going to bunch trail was because he wanted to throw the corner out. So I called the right defense. I just didn't do it. And you'll see I will not make that mistake again the entire game. I will not make that mistake again the entire game. Now, my offense, I do want to say really quickly, you're going to see a lot of aggressive catches. I want you to know that I've actually labbed this stuff. Like, it's not like I'm just coming out here and like, oh, nothing's open, so I'm just going to throw it up. I've actually labbed, like, aggressive catches, and I feel like that's an underrated tip. Like, I did a video on my YouTube channel about this. Like, you want to come back and cut the ball off, and you'll get these really good animations on corner routes. And I can consistently do this against anybody in the world. And so you will see some aggressive catches, probably a lot of aggressive catches. I haven't watched this back. But just know, like, that's kind of the thing. And especially with the style of defense he's running. He's got 38. So when we played yesterday, I'm pretty sure that's L'Jarius Sneed with inside shade. It might be one step ahead. I don't know. But whatever he has, he knocks the ball out all the time. So I kind of came into this knowing, like, I'm not going to be able to throw to Donald Parham as much as I want. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, he played me yesterday, so he knows some of my routes. He knows some of my tendencies. You'll see some of that in the way he uses. But the thing that he really honestly wasn't respecting was the tight end drag. And I feel like that's something that not a lot of people, when they play you in trips tight end this year, they don't really respect the tight end drag. When with Kyle Pitts with short and elite, he cooks man across the formation on an in route or a drag route. And so you'll see, I think on this first play, I'm going to go to it. Yeah. So I've got I'm running verticals. I've got the wheel from the running back and the drag, because in this defense specifically, that's going to force John Beast to put a zone on the right side. And then now we're going to be in a position where we're going to play a little game with his user over the middle of the field. So you see here, really good. I slide right, throw my drag, wide open, and we're off. And again, like, this is just, again, every Madden player has a little bit of an edge to him, but, like, that's my first play. Watch his first back. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like we were significantly superior in this game, just offensively, defensively. I could be wrong, but I just felt really good about what we put together for you guys in the Patreon, and I feel like this shows it off. So right here, I'm going to. He knows this play. This is PA slot corner. I have outside apprentice on Randy Moss. I really want to say this to you guys. This is the most underrated ability in the game. Outside apprentice, you'll see there's 2 touchdowns that I will throw, and I could not throw that without outside apprentice, and I really am serious about that. So please get outside apprentice on your outside receiver. It's so important this year. Tight end apprentice is not like, that's not the most important thing right now, so I don't have it. But outside apprentice really is. So I'm going to PA slot corner. So Randy Moss is on a post, Parm's on a corner. We got the scissors action there, and then we've got this corner on the right that we showed you yesterday in the update video that he has to use her to go guard that. And if he goes to the right, I've got this tight end drag coming across that normally gets decent separation against man. So there it is. See how he goes to the right? Now, he actually drops a lot of people in coverage here, and I think he's trying to adjust to that tight end drag. I should throw this away. I don't have anything. Yeah, I just throw it away. And I honestly, another mistake I made there, like, he's going to sit in the loop every play. I did not always set up my pass protection. It's another thing that I should be doing. You'll see here, I'm going to go right to it and set up my pass protection. And then you'll notice we're going to run basically the same play, but now we're going to have protection. And you'll see here, I should throw. I felt like I had this post, honestly, but I didn't. And honestly, like, the other thing is you have to understand, like, with aggressive catches being as good as they are right now, you can, like, throw stuff and cut it off, and the worst case scenario typically is you drop it. So I'm going to go back to verticals here. I feel like this is, just kind of seeing what he's about. And I don't know. That was okay. I mean, I aggressive caught the drag. I had the positioning to do so. I'm not mad at that play. I feel like he's kind of adjusting to the tight end drag, and so I'm gonna have to do some things differently. So we'll see what we end up cooking up here. I should have ran more corner routes to the right side off the tight end. I think I'm gonna go to that in a critical spot in the game. But this should be PA corner with the motion. We're gonna motion Parm on a slant. This is not a terrible route combo because of where his user is gonna have to go. And then I mess up. I throw the corner, and it wasn't the best read. It was fine. Like I said, those aggressive catches, you're not going to typically throw an interception if you have the positioning that I was getting on these. But what will happen is what you saw. You'll get a catch breakup. So, honestly, like, I felt like, man, and now I'm like, oh, crap. I'm going to have to get blown out. So, back on defense, and honestly, love being on defense right now. I just feel like this defense is so good. But anyways, we're going to go back to that cover 2 that we opened up the game with. I felt like this was a really decent adjustment. So I'll just see how he goes here. And he's going to start running the ball. And honestly, this kind of made me mad. Because, like, I have run defense, but I wasn't really, like, concerned to need to show my run defense. So I was like, dang, man. Like, I was honestly just trying to lab, like, the blitz and the coverage. So, like I said, it kind of made me mad. And the player, a player that I played the other day, was a really good pro player. Kind of same thing. Like, after the first drive, they just started running the ball, which we'll show you how to stop the run here in just a second. You'll see, like, when you stop the run once or twice, they'll stop running. So you see here, he runs. He gets down here, and he's basically thinking, like, I think he's thinking, like, I want to get out of the game, honestly. I just really think that's what he was thinking. So we're going to go to DB Sting 2. I think this is my run D right here. We'll see how it works. And notice I'm not crashing my line. And then he goes to pass. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're still going to pass a little bit. So that was kind of like signal. Now, when we get down here, I'm pretty confident that he's about to start running the ball. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to start running the ball. So you should see, I'm going to go to my run D. I should anyway. Make sure. Let me see if I crash the line. Yeah, so you see how the D lineman is slanted toward the running back? I crashed my line toward the running back now. So this is more of what my run D is. And you see right there, 0 yards. You know what I mean? Or -1 yard. So, I feel good against the run if I need to stop it. I just was like trying to test other things out, and I wasn't really like focused on it, honestly. But here, so I showed that I could stop the run. Immediately he passes. I showed he could stop the run one time, and immediately he passes. This is how most people will do this. If you show you have a gap shoot, they typically won't run the ball. So here, great defense. Now, I did that, and that's a key adjustment. So what I did on that play is, if you watch, again, what was his tendency? Step up in the pocket and roll out. Basically, that was his main thing. So what I started doing is, instead of putting a hook curl on the right side to that safety, I put him in a quarterback spy. Now, that wasn't like the right adjustment, but it was an okay adjustment. And you see in this clip, it really matters. Let me see. Show me the play. Let me see if I show the play here. Just watch the safety. He's in a spy. See how he comes in the middle? He's in a spy. If he wasn't in a spy, he would drift back a little bit more and it'd be a little bit better of a gain. So you see now, I have really good coverage across the board. And then he's going to step up and try to roll out right into a spy. And then all I have to do is click my right joystick. And at this point right here, they're not passing the ball. I'm just telling you, in this year's game, it's so hard to pass the ball. Like when you're in the middle of the pocket trying to scramble up, he's not passing the ball. So I just click the stick in, and then we bag the spy. And now all of a sudden, you know what I mean? And now I'm thinking, well, I can get a stop here, and I can get the ball back and try to get 3 or 7. So, that's kind of my idea. I started calling timeouts, as you see at the top left-hand corner of your screen. So we go back to the cover 2 blitz here. Honestly, this was not a great call. I mean, it was okay, but it just wasn't great. He should have thrown that guy. We ended up getting a sack. Part of me adjusting these coverages or changing these coverages, especially against a good player, they're all relatively similar, but there's like minor details that just tweak. And what it does to someone like John Beast, that is so good at the game at reading coverages and breaking down coverages, is it just gives them something where they have to hesitate for just a second. You notice that, and he's just looking to scramble, and we're sending a blitz. So that's another little quick tip, is like something as simple as looking like you're in a man play and turning it into a zone play could be the adjustment you need against some of the best players in the world. Just giving them something different. And now I'm like feeling really good. I'm like, man, if I could stop here, I'm going to save myself 7 points. So we should go to match coverage. Now he actually like completely screws my defense up. You see here, like I'm screwed. I'm in a bad shape. And honestly, I feel like I got kind of lucky. Now I will say, like, I don't think this was a first down anyway. So you see here, like, I'm trying to get out of this. I've got a guy, you see that safety on the top left? He's going over there to tackle the wheel route. So, I mean, I did get kind of lucky with this, but I did have a guy going over there to stop the wheel route that would have probably tackled him, before he got the first down. This dude, you watch here. So, like, I flip and just watch at the snap of the ball, try to show it or point it out to you. So, right here. Okay, so if we look, you see the safety on the right side of the screen. He's sprinting at the tight end. And if he it's just a flat. It's not a wheel. So it's not going to wheel upfield. And my guy, as you see right there, is in plenty of – there's 2 people. And I got clicked onto the D tackle because I didn't get my adjustments off. And we end up just getting a swat. Honestly, kind of lucky, but at the same time, I feel like we could have still got off the field with that. And now I'm like, man, we can go get 3 or 7, and we get ball coming out of half. We're in a good spot. So I just got to beat this defense. So, like I said, people are in this defense for a reason. It's really good. It's really difficult to beat consistently. But I'm going to set my pass protection up and do my best. And what you should see here is I throw this aggressive catch, and that is the moment where I'm like, oh, I didn't know that would work against inside shade, but it does. So he can't get knockouts on aggressive catches to the left side, and I know that I can consistently aggressive catch that by coming back to the ball. I labbed it, I've tested it, I know it. I've told you guys a million times. It's really good. So I'm like, oh, okay, there's something. And then here, I'm going to test his user up top, and I got a little swerve catch, and I'm able to get 7. Honestly, like, the situation kind of justified that throw, because if I don't catch that ball, it's probably a knockout. And if there was really nothing else. All the other stuff he had so many underneath zones for. So I felt good about that, honestly. In this year's game, with as easy it is to user catch one-on-one deep down the field, and I also felt like I kind of had positioning. I wouldn't have thrown that. Let me show it real quick. I wouldn't have thrown this if I didn't have positioning. So if you watch at the snap of the ball, see how you see right there, you see the corner go outside? He's shading outside because he's trying to stop the corner out to Parm. Okay? So he's shading outside trying to stop the corner route. He only sends 3. Now, I might have had some other stuff. Let's just look. But I had the drag. I could have thrown the drag. But look at the inside positioning that I have. I'm like, man, I got 30. I got inside position. Like, I got a one-on-one with inside position. It's Randy Moss, probably the best receiver in the game right now next to Darnell Parm. I'm like, man, the worst thing that can happen is I'm going to drop it. So I'm like, I'll pass lead inside. So I pass lead inside. I click onto the receiver and get a little Moss, and Moss does what Moss does. Now, again, that could have gone 50-50. I could have just taken the drag and been fine. But the outcome for him, had he won, so to speak, in that animation, would have been a drop. It very rarely is going to be an interception if you click on and go aggressive catch in a one-on-one situation and you have position like that. So I would be like third and 6 or something, 3rd and 10 with 30 seconds. So I wasn't like, you could say I got lucky, and maybe I did, but I'd probably make that throw again. And if it was incomplete, then I would have taken, I had other stuff. So that's not the only reason I win this game, I promise. But you're going to see, at this point, you're going to watch, my defense will absolutely just go crazy in just a second. So you'll see here, this is where the game starts to really get good. I start to get a little bit momentum. We're going to go to that cover 2 defense again, man up the slot. We got that nice little swap exchange. And this was also where I started to realize, like, he's not throwing the ball to the right side of the field. Like to the solo receiver. The solo receiver has been thrown to one time. And I should start to adjust to that in just a second. But you see here the pressure. And then now this is what I'm getting at with the verticals. You see what he's doing with the tight end. This is verticals. And he should throw the tight end right here. And he tries to, but he gets sacked. So he's 4 of 10, man. Like, he's 4 of 10. And one of those plays wasn't a great read. So now you see here, and I think this might be the play. So I'm going just man with the middle third. Going to send some heat, see what he does. Now, right here, watch this. This is really important. This is a big play. So notice I spied my defensive tackle. The reason I did that is because he was scrambling. So I'm going to start doing that out of DB Sting. I'm going to send the heat, and I middle thirded the dude because of the situation. We had 18 seconds. I was thinking he was going to try to hit a post to the deep guy. So that was the reason I middle thirded the safety on the right side. But the other thing is, you notice that I started to spy my defensive tackle, which is something I'm going to start doing as this game kind of continues to progress, to take away the scramble that he kept taking up the middle. There was not really a big-time purpose. I was still getting the heat that I wanted to get without needing the DT. So I was able to put him in a spy. And then really important, in this year's game, this is just kind of honestly like, I'm not sure if this was a dice roll. It could have been. Like, man coverage sometimes can be like that. But he's running a motion slant, and I honestly didn't really need to user the crosser. I felt like my guy had good position against the crosser. So I'm going like, okay, I'm going to bite on this. I'm going to bite down on the slant completely and force him to throw to the crosser. So he does. So I bite right there. See, I'm biting on the slant. I've got the sheds are coming free, and you notice that the edge threat guy is doing his thing. He's going to make that throw, and look at my corner in perfect position, and we're going to take the ball back. Okay? Now, 15 seconds, I'm thinking a couple things. Basically, what I want to do is I want to take a couple shots to the end zone, and I want to kick my field goal if I don't convert my shots. I don't have any timeouts, right? I don't have any timeouts. So I can't take a sack. I can't run the ball. I can't throw in the middle of the field. I need to throw to the end zone. So you'll see right here, and I honestly felt like this was a touchdown too. So I'm going with my scissors concept. Really love this play. I'm going to motion in, and I should block this guy. Yeah. So I block this guy here. So I have a scissors concept on the right side. So I'm looking to throw the corner routes or the post. Basically, I just want to keep it in the sideline or throw it to the end zone. So you see here, right there, basically what I can tell is where's his user? His user's in the middle underneath, right? In my opinion, it was honestly kind of a bad user because, it wasn't a bad user. It was fine. But I don't really have anything here. I don't really have anything. So Let's see if I throw this away. Yeah, okay. There's another play later on where I had the post wide open and my players basically didn't. They like ran and bumped each other. But I noticed something. I said, oh, well, he's not deep halving on the left side. And this was a dot that I talked to you guys about it yesterday that I really like. So I was anticipating here, like, okay, he's not going to have any deep coverage on the left side. He's going to just rely on that inside shade. So what I'm going to do is run this with the streak, and then basically try to max protect and hit the C route. So you'll see here, corner route, and then the streak is just really like, if he was in zone. Honestly, like the streak should have been a post, but I should have actually probably blocked circle. But you'll see here, my guy just wins. See how he wins there? Now, right there, this is really important. You could throw a pick on this if you're not careful. You want to pass lead this. I'm going to pass lead this straight up. And I'm not on freeform. John Beast is on freeform. I'm on classic. Crap. How did I mess that up? Sorry about that. Let me get back to the play. But that's a pivotal play in this game. So let me just kind of fast forward here. Sorry, I think I bumped R1. Yeah, right here. Here it is. So you'll just see, like, I'll pass lead this straight up. So, like, what I should have probably honestly done was motion block circle and let this post kind of just keep his user in a spot. But it ended up working out anyway. And so you'll see the C route, pass lead that straight up, rack catch. I could have possession caught that, honestly. I probably should have possession caught that. But I was just trying to, like, avoid any knockout. That's all I was going for. So now we're up 2 possessions with ball out of half, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm like, man, I just can't make a mistake. I just can't, like, shoot myself in the foot by throwing a blind read or something. So I'm feeling really good but I'm feeling great on defense. Like, I feel like he shouldn't have even had the first 7 he had, and the only way that he's been able to move the ball is by running the ball. And I wasn't really, like, trying to stop the run. I was, like, kind of not really even – I was just assuming he wasn't going to run because it's a head-to-head game, but he does. So now I'm like, okay, well, if I adjust to the run and I adjust to the tight end trail route that cooked me and the quarterback scramble, those are the 3 things that he's been able to do. A tight end trail route, a quarterback scramble that oftentimes is a fumble or a sack, and run the ball, which I wasn't really paying attention to. So I feel really good on defense. Offensively, honestly, like, I do kind of feel still good. Like, I feel like I have open stuff. Like, there's some ags and stuff, but I feel like I have open stuff almost every play. So you see here, I'm going to go back to my base. I love this play. Just kind of looking here, forces user to go right. We're going to throw left. And that right there is so consistent. Like, if I need a dot, I'm normally going to go to that, especially with the motion corner route. I really like the motion corner route, which I should be going here. Yeah, you're going to see the motion corner route. Because, again, I just want to keep pushing him to go there. I don't want him to be able to drop zones and then be able to use the tight end. So there, honestly, that was pretty good D. His guy just played really good on the corner. Like, and that literally happens. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to play some chess with him. So in this situation, this is actually a really good dot. So I'm like, man, he stopped my corner out, right? So what I wanted to do was try to put triangle out of PA counter go. I'm going to put triangle on a motion slant, and because the tight end out route is really good. It's really good against man, okay? So my thought process is, okay, he's not putting a zone over there. He's just running over there with his user because he knows that if he puts a zone over there, the corner route still gets open against that. So he's just going to run over there with his user, and then he's going to try to basically adapt to the rest of the routes with his zones. So I was thinking here, if I show him that I don't have a corner route from triangle, he'll jump to the slant. And then I can throw the tight end out route. And then on the backside, I think I put a C route here. Randy Moss has double me. So we should do a C. We should have done a C route, but we didn't. But look right here. So watch this. Watch right here. Watch. See how he's going to, he's going to lurk the tight end out route. But now there's nobody over here. The zones, the drift logic in this game, right? They said they fixed the drift logic. They really didn't in a lot of ways. But the crosser pulled the yellows back, which happens. And then now this guy is completely free over the middle for an easy read right down there. And we'll just take that, get upfield for about 10, 15 yards. Okay? So I feel like that was a decent little adjustment to kind of the defense. Put him in a bad position. He couldn't stop that. I could have gone to that a lot more. Now this is the post route. So right here, I wanted to run my corner out to my tight end. So I do that motion snap here to get this guy kind of in a soft spot against zone, and then I have corner route. Now you see how they run into each other. No, honestly, that was probably on me. That's probably just a bad read. I think I was getting screamed at on that, so I was trying to just get rid of the ball. But anyway, okay. So now let's see here. What is this one? So I'm going back to the post corner. I mean, this is my favorite play against man. If they're going to run man, this is probably my favorite play. So you see here, he's going to go to the right. Now the post is wide open, and you see I touch it over the top. People say you can't lob pass in classic passing. I felt like this was a great read. Like, the throw was really what made this. But right here, I'm like, okay, I can't bullet throw it to the right. I have to kind of touch it over the top, but I can't lob it, just full-blown lob it. So I kind of touch it. So the way you do that is you don't, like, tap the button. You kind of, like, lightly press it. I don't know how to quite say it, but it's not like a corner route. You're going to pass it to the right and you're going to throw a bullet pass. You're going to press the button down really hard. This one is like, I just kind of like lofted the ball over his guy, and I felt like this was it could have been a bad throw. It could have potentially had, if I messed up my throw, then he would have been able to stop that, but I felt like that was a really solid read. I had a step on him over the top, and I pass led up and was able to get the ball to him, even without freeform. With freeform, that's a lot of people would say that was an easy touchdown. So, anyway. So now I'm up 2 scores. Feel really good on defense. And I'm like kind of honestly starting to get excited because I want to see how he's going to beat the defense. I feel like I have kind of started to find the right adjustments for his offense. And I don't feel like he's going to be able to move. Like, I just really feel like my defense is going to cage here. And we'll see. So right here, I should go to match coverage. Yep. Now notice, you see there, I'm in up the tight end. So if he runs that stupid trail route, I've got a guy here. So you should see here, my dude's shedding him like crazy out of a 3-man rush. Dollar doesn't do that. Dollar does not do that consistently. 146 does. You see we're able to get the coverage sack. So I feel like mixing the coverage in really was like one of the key things I did. Now he should step up here and take a scramble, and we're going to get the sack really good. So I went to a man blitz out of that. I'm going to go to cover 6. Now right here I think I make a minor mistake. Let's see. I should have spied. I think he should take off here. Yep. Okay. I was able to kind of hang on. I mean, he's 4 of 12, guys. Like, he's 4 of 12. Yeah, so right there, I tried to send the spy, but I didn't have one, and the vertical hook, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the perfect defense, but it was pretty solid. If I would have spied that vertical hook, it would have been the perfect D. So right here, you see there's the hook curl, because I'm like, well, if he scrambles, the hook curl will be fine. I don't really need a spy. And he's got the C route here that he's looking for, but he's not going to be able to hit that. Or is he? He's going to throw it. Yeah. So that right there is why I don't like freeform. So he's going to freeform this to the right, but he has to be careful because you can overthrow freeforms. So he tries to freeform this, but he has to throw it, like he has to get the ball to the right. And he does so, and he overthrows the ball. That's why I don't like freeform. Right there. Perfect example of why I don't like freeform. So he honestly had me there, but that's why I don't like freeform. And again, it was a tight throw. We could have made a tackle. Like, it was a tight throw. Okay, no matter what, that would have been a tight throw. So I'm like, okay, now I'm going to go back to my C route. But notice what I do here. I felt like this was decent, just for the way that how much time I was having when I started doing this. So what you'll see here is I run the scissors action, and we get the post to palm wide open. And this is where I start to really feel good. I think, let me look back here to the left. So again, this is a pretty good concept if you have time. And again, he's in loop blitz. If I block the loop blitz, which we teach you how to do, I'm sliding to the left. I'm blocking my running back out of play action. He has to make so many adjustments out of this anyway to stop what I was doing. I felt like I was going to have time, and what you see here is the byproduct of that. Like, I just put him in a position where it was really hard for him to user both the posts. I mean, he could have probably usered them, but he makes the mistake. He goes to triangle and palms wide open. And again, that's not the best route combo. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, for what he was doing, it was decent because he was trying to user the middle of the field for the both of the posts, and he had to pick one. Now, I probably should have put the tight end on like a drag or something, but because he's literally running man every play. Like, it's been man every play. And that's what a lot of people do against trips. Trips is really good against the zone. Like, it's really hard to run the zone against trips. So a lot of people are going to just run man, but when you have stuff like this, it's pretty decent. So at this point, I'm like kind of chilling. I'm like, man, I'm up 3 scores. And honestly, I kind of go into a little bit of a mode of like, I want to see some stuff on defense. So I'll start to kind of like, honestly, I was kind of trying to see what he would do. Like, I was kind of surprised that he just kind of stayed with the trail route. Like, I just was kind of surprised. But you will see, so there's that. Now, what I should do based on what he's doing is I take that vertical hook and make him a quarterback spy. And I will eventually do that. But I don't here. And you see everything's bagged, but he can scramble. Okay, and this is where the scramble starts to become like a thing. So he's going to scramble and scramble and scramble and scramble and scramble and scramble. So if you're playing someone that has really good pocket, and there's the spy. Watch the spy now. Okay, I'm going to scramble. That's not going to be there for you, buddy. And now you see, now we're really getting there. Now, he should have thrown the flat. He had the flat, but he didn't. And I think in his stream, I think he was like really mad at himself for that. Now, I wasn't watching his stream while I was playing, but my wife was, and she said he was like kind of freaking out about not throwing his flat because he's right. I mean, that was the throw. He should have thrown the flat. Here, little man, and we're going to scramble again. And you'll see what I do to kind of like take that away. The spy should be in cover 6 with a spy here. Let me see. Yep, cover 6 with a spy. And then I'm manning up the tight end. He's not putting the running back on a route, so I don't have to really respect the running back a lot. So I'm just kind of here. Now he's going to try. He should try to. You see there, the post is just bagged. I mean, cover 6, man. Cover 6 is that powerful. With the right adjustments, it can be one of the best defenses in the game, especially its bunch and compression sets. You see here again. Now I'm on my DT, unfortunately, and 3 people. Like, it's a great dot, but I mean, dang. Like, had I been on my user, that wouldn't have been there. And he should scramble again. Yep. He had his mesh, he had his drag, but the pressure, man. 5 of 16. 5 of 16. Okay. Now, how is he driven down the field? Well, he's thrown a crosser into triple coverage, and he's scrambled. So you'll see kind of the key adjustment here that I think will end up winning me this game. Now, I tried to do something that I shouldn't have done. I tried to go with a loop, and I got myself messed up, and I'm on the wrong side, and I don't have a – you see here, like, we're actually going to do decent, but he dots me. And that was the first time I was trying to go with a loop. I think I actually did run it off of the right side. Let me see that. But I was so messed up adjustment-wise. I was just so messed up adjustment-wise. Let me see what I did here. Did it come in? No, it got bumped. It got bumped by the drag. Yeah, I was just messed up adjustment-wise, and I end up, like, I should have gone to the slant. If I would have gone to the slant, that would have been bagged, but... Yeah, so, I mean, and I'm like, dang it. And what I was thinking with the loop was, like, I was thinking, okay, he's blocking every play, so I could just run this, spy a guy, and, like, really clamp down here in the red zone. But I try to do it again? And I should just call timeout. I think I will here. I should call timeout, but I don't. Now, right here, this was so stupid. So I'm running the loop off the wrong side, and he throws this tight end route, and he gets screwed. Like, that's a touchdown. He should have scored. He's pretty mad about that, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, now I'm like, all right, we're done with that. All right, we're done with that. It works. I didn't have the adjustments down to run it, right? So notice what I did here. So I've got a hook crow on the left side. So if he runs an in route to the left, he's going to be bagged. And then I have my DT and a spy. So if he runs up the middle, I've got the spy there. So what you'll see here, bag, Bagged, 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 bagged. Trying to run around, and we're not doing that in Madden 23. Okay? And I'm pretty sure I'm going to stay with that defense. Like, I'll run that probably 3 times in a row here. I think on the right I did, yeah, I literally ran the same thing. Hook curl right in the middle for the post. Perfect. And then you'll see finally with a 4th down. Did I go to match here? Nope, same defense. Same defense here. This is the D. Throws right there. Not open. There's 4 people right there. And, yeah, we bagged it up. So, I mean, I kind of beat myself on that drive a little bit. I was trying to get the loop because I wanted to see if I could spy, and just wasn't a great idea. So right here, drag. Now, one of the things I do want to say about that drag is if you spam stiff arm with your guy, a lot of times you'll break that first tackle and be able to go for a little bit. So, again, that's why man coverage is not the greatest thing. Like, it's good, but it's not like perfect. There's again. Now that ag animation on the outside, I wanted to talk about that. So the thing is, like, why would I aggressive catch that instead of possession catch that? I had a step. His guy was knocking the ball out if I tried to possession catch. That's what happened pretty much all day yesterday. The ag catch, if you click onto the player and you come back to the ball, like I would like spin my joystick to the left and then bring it all the way back around. He will get that animation like he just got, where he actually will get his feet down, surprisingly enough. So, just something for you. Here, I felt like that's what I'm saying. It's right there. See what just happened? This was what was happening all day yesterday. That's an open read. Watch this. Watch this. He has double me. He has a step. I throw it, and I drop it every single freaking time. And that's the beauty of that corner. Sneed, I think with inside shade, probably with medium route KO. So that's why I was aggressive catching in those certain situations, because I just felt like I wouldn't drop him as much as I did if I tried to do anything else. So anyway, back to kind of the basic stuff. And here the post like cooked, but he did have a third. So anyway, 3rd and 10. Let's see what I go to here. And honestly, I'm kind of like chilling. I'm not like, I'm kind of like, I'm honestly trying to kind of see if I can find some other man beaters for this stuff, because really this right here has been the best one with the slant. There's the corner. Watch this. This is an ag catch, but I actually threw it bad. I just made a bad throw. I should have thrown it. If I pass lead that to the left, that's an easy catch. I saw it late. I didn't expect it to get open. I kind of had a lot more respect for Sneed than I probably should have, honestly. I'm going to go the same play here. Throw that tight end corner. See how it's got the step, and then when I aggressive catch it, it brings him back to the ball really nicely. And again, it's not like it's open. Like, I could have possession caught it. But I just find the ags way more consistent, at least so far. So now I'm going to go the C route again. So I'm going to go, let's see here. I'm going to block Max Pro, and I'm just looking for the C route, and I have it. There you go. There's the C route beating man. It's not always 100%, but this was a terrible play call. Like, I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking with this. This is just a bad call. There, the crosser just gets, there's just nothing open. Yeah, that was kind of a waste play, like just a bad call. But I've thrown for 311 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, I feel like I've taken like calculated risks on offense. I feel like I've taken calculated risks when I've thrown some of those questionable reads. Here, I'm just going to scramble out. He probably wanted to fumble right there. I was sliding. I probably could have fumbled there. So, he definitely didn't have everything going his way. But I do feel like we played pretty decent. You see here, just looking for the C route. Not there, but I'll take my tight end drag. Again, that tackle battle happens a lot on that, so that's why I like to stiff arm. And I'm just like, as soon as I catch the ball, I'm spamming X trying to get upfield, and I'm okay with 4 or 5 yards. I'm not mad at the 4-yard gain. And then here, the corner route wide open, back of the end zone. Touchdown. And I think he's out. Okay. So really good film. I felt like just, overall wanted to do this film room for you guys. I hope that you liked it. Let me know. Tried to get into detail on some of the adjustments and some of the things he was doing and how you can really adapt this defense when you're playing one of the best players in the world. So thank you for watching this. I hope that it was helpful. I also do want to remind you guys to please stay tuned to your emails. We have a couple of really big time updates coming that are all positive for you guys. We're going to be able to, I think, just give you guys better and higher quality content. So really excited about that. So please stay tuned to your email. If you haven't been getting my emails, please let me know. But anyways, that is the video, and hopefully you enjoyed it.